Hi guys, Andy Lehman here from freedomskillsacademy.com. So in today's Life Bible extract, I don't think this is actually a chapter in the book, but it's something worth talking about. As I said before in previous video, you get yourself a free copy of the Life Bible. If you're interested, go to the website, you'll see the link below. Just go get yourself a copy. We're shipping it around the world to anyone for the same price, you just pay shipping. Okay, so today's talk is about value, not volume. Alright, okay? So this is quite an interesting topic to talk about. It depends on what you want in life. I'm not saying that you're going to be an internet marketer or an Instagrammer or a YouTuber or anything of that sort. However, volume is irrelevant if you're not giving value. And by volume I mean you could have 10,000 Instagram followers. Now obviously you must be giving something to get 10,000 followers, but it is possible to get 10,000 followers on, say, Instagram or YouTube, or 10,000 big email list. But if you're not giving them value, if you're not giving them something that they value, that's something that's helping them or entertaining them, then you're going to make very little money. If that's what you want to do, if you want to use your following to make money, because technically you can. If you've got 10,000 people on an email list, studies show that you should be making at least $1 a month, possibly $2 a month. So even if you said that you were making half a dollar, half a pound, 50 pence, 50 cents from an email list, if you had 10,000 people on an email list, you should be at least generating £5,000, $5,000 a month over the course of the year on average. Okay? So, having a large volume of followers can be incredibly powerful. But again, this all comes down to several things. Sort of the quality of the volume. If it's 10,000 tire kickers or freebie seekers, then really you're not going to get anything. But also, if you're not giving them value, then chances are you're not going to make any money or a lot of money. If you're giving them value, and then you have 10,000 followers, 10,000 people on your email list, 10,000 YouTube subscribers, you're giving them value, then you will make more money, because obviously they're going to keep coming back, or they may buy from you. But if you've got 10,000 people and you're not giving them anything that's worthwhile, they're not going to buy from you. There's no point. We've talked about in previous videos, familiarity, confidence, trust, all that stuff. But if you're not giving them anything to build that familiarity, if you're not nurturing them, if you're not giving them anything that's useful, there's no reason for them to buy from you. You're just going to be a complete stranger, or you're nothing to them. However, going back to the value-volume debate, if you have just say 2,000 subscribers on your email list, or 2,000 YouTube subscribers, or 2,000 Instagram followers, TikTok followers, but if you're giving them lots of value, something that is really, really sort of worthwhile to them, if they believe that they're learning stuff or they are enjoying what you're doing to the point that they become like a fan, you're building a tribe of people, those 2,000 people will probably generate you more money than the 10,000 people who are not getting any value whatsoever. It's all about what you deliver to them. This is what makes big successful businesses successful, because you've got people like Amazon. They deliver value. They deliver a great customer service. You can't get as big as Amazon if you're, if I can use the word, shit. If you're crap. People moan and groan about Amazon. We moan about certain things that they do. You can't please everybody all of the time, as we know, and people always have bad experiences. However, Amazon has grown huge because they delivered a brilliant customer service. They delivered value for money. So often value can be seen as 10 times what someone pays. So, for example, let's say that you sold an ebook. If that ebook was £10, the value of that ebook needs to be around £100. I mean, we're talking about sort of non-fiction books here. We're talking about books that will probably help a person's life. But if you give them value, this is why internet marketers give bonuses. So if you see something that's like £10, $10, then there'll be like these 3 or 4 bonuses at the bottom. It's value stacking. They're adding value to the actual sale. So they're making you realise that you're getting more than what you're paying for. If you deliver more value, they say people, at least double, but they're saying they should at least 10 times what a person is paying. If you're delivering 10 times the value or the customer service, if the customer service is exceptional, then in many ways people see that as value for money. So that itself will help grow success. So as I say, you could have 2,000 people where you over-deliver with the value. If you give them 10 times worth content. Let's look at Instagram, for example. There's a guy who, he's a chef here in the UK, Miguel Barkley. He writes books. He's constantly giving out, he's basically doing Instagram stories, and he's constantly on there. Throughout the day, there's 3 or 4 stories always popping up. They can only be a minute or 2 long. Some people get fed up of it because it's constant. But because it's constant, he is creating this familiarity, but he's giving value. People have followed him for a reason, to see more of his stuff. Now, as I say, you might get a small percentage who get fed up, and they will sort of stop following him. Same with email marketing. You could have a huge email list and send an email every day. You should send an email every day, but some people may get fed up with that, so they'll stop. They'll unsubscribe, which is fair enough, especially if the emails that they're getting is not of value or not what they were hoping, then they'll unsubscribe. You'll always get that. That's a given. People are different. We do know that. But if you are giving value, more value than what they are expecting or what they want, then you are basically creating a fan, someone who is going to like you. Yeah? As I said, there's always going to be people who aren't. It's probably too much. They probably just want to see 2 or 3 posts a day as opposed to 20. But there are some people who are probably quite happy to sit through and trawl through 20 TikToks or 20 Instagram reels or emails a day. It depends on what they're learning. Especially if what you give them is valuable enough. So let's say, talk about email marketing, for example. Let's say that you teach someone to do something and your emails have taken them from earning £1,000 a month to $5,000, and you've done that without, basically, let's say you've not sold them anything, but you've helped them turn their income from $1,000 to $5,000 in a month through the value of through your emails. That is incredibly valuable. Then if you were to release a product that says, I can teach you how to go to $25,000 a month, and you were selling that for $2,000, do you think a lot of people would be interested in that? Because you've already proven that you've taken them from 1 to 5. So that's valuable in itself. And then you come along and say, I can do it. So I can, we can 5 times what you're doing now. Will people buy? I think so, yes, because it's the value. There will always be the fear that people may have a fear that it may not work, but you already sort of belayed a lot of that fear by proving that fact that you can do it with the value that you've already given. You've proven that you are a person to trust. They become familiar with you. They are confident of your skills and ability, information and knowledge. The only other thing that might prevent them is, apart from fear, is the cost of entry. They may not be able to afford it at that time. That doesn't mean that your product is overpriced. It just means that they can't afford it at that time. If they could, they probably would. Especially if it was let's say you're charging something for $5,000, £5,000, but it was going to teach people how to make £25,000 a month, then that's like 25, 50. You're looking at with a 6-figure income by the end of the year for a £5,000 investment. So yes, it's definitely valuable. It's definitely worth it. It's giving value. So going back to the debate, volume versus value. Now the two work together. So as well as having a valuable, if you're giving value to 2,000 people, that 2,000 people could generate more money than having 10,000 people who are following you and you're not giving any value at all. However, if you have 10,000 people, 20,000 people, and you are giving them a lot of value, and then yes, you are going to be, as they say in parts of America, a lot of these internet marketers say you're going to be crushing it, you're going to be killing it, because you're giving value to lots of people who are following you. And if they see value in you, if they are familiar with you, if they know who you are, they trust you, if they have confidence with you, then yes, then volume and value go hand in hand. They will work together. But value is the thing that you must start with first. It's something Like, for example, we're giving away this book for free. It's going to cost you, I can't remember what it's going to cost you in postage, but we're posting it around the world for the same price. So this book is 200 odd pages. I've written the book. We're going to post it out to you wherever you are in the world, and we're giving these videos for free. Now, hopefully people find these videos useful and valuable. Some may, some may not. Some people may think I just ramble and talk crap. That's fair enough. But I'm giving all this up front. So this is value before asking for anything in return. And if I start to get a decent amount of followers, people signing up for this book or for these videos, then if people start to become familiar with me and they start to like me and they start to trust me, then that is always going to be a good thing. It works for celebrities. It works for, let's look at celebrities. Let's talk about celebrities briefly. Let's talk about the kind of political celebrity that's going around the world at the moment. Here in the UK, we've got people like Nigel Farage. There was Tommy Robinson, not his full name. That, for anybody who's a big Tommy Robinson fan or non-fan, Tommy Robinson is a made-up name. It is a marketing identity. It's a persona, because British World War soldiers, they were called Tommies. Robinson's a traditional British name. It's the fruit juice drink that they sell at Wimbledon. So that is a marketing persona. And then by going on TV or doing YouTube videos and ranting all the time about certain things, they are aligning themselves with a certain amount of people. And then they start to get large followers. So they are giving out, I don't want to use the word value for those. They're speaking the things that people want to hear. Certain groups of people want to hear. And they're speaking it, but they're not just speaking it every now and again. They're speaking it all the time. They're speaking it regularly. They're using all this free social media to get their point across. And then they are getting interviewed by newspapers and TV channels because, it's divisive. It's creating division. People, it's the other side of the story. So people want to start interviewing them and talking to them. Sometimes they just want to get to understand what they're trying to say, why they're saying it, and what their opinion is. And so now they are creating this career out of doing that. So they've used all these free tools and got exposure, and they've now become this person that people know about. They've become familiar, which we talked about in a previous video. They've had the courage to go out and talk bollocks, and so they've had the courage to go and do that, which has got them into places. They've become familiar with certain people, and they've amassed this large following of people who believe that they give value, and so they are now willing to spend money with them, because not only is Nigel Farage was he earning about £500 a day for doing interviews on TV about subjects that he knew very little about, to be fair, but he had people who were donating to a political party that was just utter crap, really. It's just, people were donating money to a cause, to a charlatan, to a bloke who didn't need the money, and these people ran off with the money, or they spent it on other things, whatever they've done with it, I don't really know. I'm not saying they've stole it. But basically they've created this marketing persona, and they've built this tribe of people who find value in what they say, and then they become quite, we can say better off for it, but not necessarily. It depends on how they, other life choices have come into play as well. Like fighting hasn't done them any good. But anyway, that's going slightly off at a tangent there. So we were talking about volume and value. So if you get yourself, you've got the courage to get yourself into social media, get yourself using social media, get yourself in front of people, creating value as well as familiarity. If you're creating value and giving out value, then you are going to start to build a following. Now, the larger volume of followers that you have, you're going to generate more money or success, whether you're selling books, services, or just even advertising revenue through YouTube. By having a large volume and giving value, you are going to earn more money. But if you don't give value, then having a large amount of followers, a large volume of followers, is pointless. It means nothing. So you'd be better off with a small amount of people giving value, which then, as a reward, as the natural progression of business, as a natural progression of basically life, if you give value, then people start to recommend you, or people start sharing your stuff, and then your volume will grow. So then you'll have volume and value, which is going to be beneficial for you, your life, your business, your products, your services, whatever it is. So I'm going to bring this video to a close. Went on a bit of a rant and a tangent there. So in no way am I suggesting that certain people have taken money out of other people's pockets for their own ill-gotten greed, but they have been able to manage to persuade people to donate to a cause and pay towards a cause using the principles I've talked about here, by giving regular, familiar value, or creating content, just creating videos daily is value. Like I said about Miguel Barkley, doing lots of Instagram and TikTok videos daily is value to people if they're enjoying it and learning it. So that is something to consider, and that is to get out there, create the value, create content, create familiarity, trusting the confidence, let people get to know you, and then that is always going to be rewarded in the future. There's a video I recorded called Cause and Effect, or the one thing you should know above everything else is cause and effect, and that is what this is all about, really. Having the courage to go out and do something which is going to be seen by more people, is going to have a reward. It's going to create certain effects in your life. It's going to be rewarded one way or another. It could be possibly a negative reward. I mean, I run the risk of getting people saying that my videos are crap, or I'm getting bad-mouthed. It's highly possible I might talk crap to some people, and there's lots of internet trolls, so I can imagine I'm going to get some grief somewhere down the line. But at the same time, doing things like this could actually open the doors for lots of better things. I mentioned before in a previous video about criminal psychologists who, they study psychology, they write a book, and then they end up on a TV program talking about the new book, and then before you know it, they're actually fronting TV documentaries about serial killers. So they're now no longer necessarily, they might still be in the field of psychology, but they're also getting paid extra money from TV companies and book sales. They've created that life by taking action, by giving value, by doing certain things. So cause and effect will always have a thing. So if you haven't seen that video, watch that video. I've talked about it now here. But that's basically what this is about. By giving value, you are gaming the system. By giving value, you are creating rewards in the future. Everything you do now is going to have an effect. If not today, tomorrow, it will in the future. And they're often very much beneficial effects. They're often good for you. So, going back to the main topic, if you're into internet marketing, an author, anything like that, and you want to build a following, it's fine. Build a large following, but don't be duped into thinking that you've got 10,000 followers, that means a lot of money for you, because it won't if you're not giving value. You have to give value. Value and volume together are incredibly powerful. Volume on its own without value is pointless. Small volume with lots of value is also incredibly powerful and will lead to bigger volume values. Right, so on that note, I'm going to bring this video to a close. Again, as always, if you want to copy the Life Bible, you can get it from freedomskillsacademy.com. You can see the link below. If you go to the freedomskillsacademy.com website, you'll also see there's another free book there called Freedom Skills. Get a copy of that. So I think that's it then, and it's a bit bright all of a sudden, the sun shining through. This video is probably going to look a bit weird, I don't know. I apologise for that, but thank you for watching, and I shall see you again in another video. So take care and goodbye.